So some people don't believe that Cardano is something that is being used. It's a ghost chain, right? But if
Yeah.
you actually go in and look at it, there's thousands of people who are actually using Cardano for multiple reasons, whether it's, being a stake pool operator, being a governance thing, music, movies. And with one of one artists, there's a variety of ways that you can go about it. You can go with a one of one edition thing, you can go with auctions, you can go with editions, you can go with commissions. I'm working with an artist now who's doing a commission work for me. And I think that's also how a lot of NFT projects are coming to fruition. I mean, if we look at Squash, he's made quite a few different 10K projects, and it's beautiful that it's all him. But at the same time, when you look at other projects, you will recognize that some of these artists are also one of one artists, like Eight Aquariums or Pendulum, for example. They're one of one artists as well. And they create work to, or, actually, one of my favorites to talk about would be Goof's World. You got Stag Wolf, who's been part of Bizarre Stars and quite a few other things, but he's a talented one of one artist. And it's kind of nice to see that he also really enjoys the work that he does. And it's not something that you would typically see in a gallery or anything like that. But I believe that it should. Absolutely. I would love to go to the NFT museum and see a Stag Wolf piece on the wall. Like, that would be awesome. But it's just the same thing as in Web 2. When you're looking at the movie credits, how many artists are taking care of Spider-Man, Spider-Verse stuff? The amount of helping hands and experts that create those things is wild. And some of those people, even again, are one of one artists, and you'll see their work in a respective gallery space, either pay attention or not pay attention at all. So, yeah, there's that. And then Ethereum, one of one artists, kind of has its trends, right? There'll be days where the focus is more on runes or be more focused on sappy seals or pudgy penguins. But if an individual is looking for art for something specific, like for my house, I have this big wall right here and it's empty, but I want something that's better looking than a virtual space when I'm on calls. So, of course, I find a beautiful art that has meaning to me, that fills a space. And it's kind of beautiful when you go to, like, I went to a friend's house and they have one of those digital screens, and they were preparing for us to come and visit. So they put our artwork up on, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. You didn't have to put our
Yes.
artwork down on the wall. But they're like, no, 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 we were excited. Like, it changes every once in a while, but it's like kind of cool to be able to, choose either looking at charts or a PFP collection or regular art. Like, it's kind of interesting to see that. And it'd be nice to see it across multiple chains, because like I collect art from Polygon, Tezos was booming for a while because of the foundation's core interest was primarily on artists. Most of that money was spilled into to from the foundation to supporting artists. And so it depends, I guess, on each chain's fundamentals, ambitions, beliefs, or I guess more or less core values. And so for Cardano, ours is, about sustainability, scalability, security,
Absolutely.
that it would make sense why art really isn't at the forefront of Charles's mind, but he surely does appreciate it. I mean, you see it in his office, and he appreciates the gifts that the community gets him or gives him. But if we're talking as the individual, he's not. He's thinking six companies, not thinking about the next one of one art piece that's going to be fulfilling his wall. I mean, eventually, I'm sure in one of his homes or something like that, he'll want to, complete a blank wall. It depends on the aesthetics or whichever. But if it's of your interest, you'll find it. And I think that's one of the things that I look forward to in Cardano with being an art director or creative director is educating the individual what is possible. Because like I said earlier, with my onboarding process, Ethereum was way too expensive for me. That was my whole paycheck to mint anything. Whereas with a one of one artist, they're already having to fork out money for their website, their gallery shows that they're going to be at, or anything like that. Or they just simply don't have that liquidity to invest in it. So why not show them the opportunity that Cardano's there? And there might be individuals who would be interested in supporting their business, supporting their legacy. creativity. And I would say one of my favorite moments when I was working at JPEG Store was onboarding. I don't know if you've seen her in the ecosystem yet, but her name is Nassaran.
Masrim?
Nassaran.
Nastaran. Okay.
She's from Iran, and I had put out a tweet because knowing politics, women life freedom was a pretty big and still is a pretty big movement to recognize and trying to help individuals in the space, or not even in the space. Primarily, they're all Web 2. But I asked if there was anybody in the ecosystem, and Shaz from Danketsu had commented, Nassaran, she's on Ethereum. And I was like,
Love
oh,
him. Love him, by the way. I had
right?
yeah, yeah, he's one of my favorite people in
He's awesome. I've loved every interaction with him, apart from like collaborating with each other, to just working with each other and being good friends.